Shepherd. Okay, all right, you guys, so here we go. Let me just preface this with, if I come off a little bit red, I do not mean it in a bad way. So please know, you guys, it comes from a place of love. I'm just super excited, and I may say something that maybe will hurt someone's feelings, and it is not meant to hurt your guys' feelings, I promise, okay? So yesterday we had a diamond in, yes, buckle up. Yesterday we had a diamond and above Zoom, and Joel and Stephanie, the #1 income earners, were interviewed on the diamond and above Zoom. It was so good. We got so much good information. And so basically, one thing that I took away from it, and I think I talked about this yesterday, but you're okay, Erica. That's fine, hon. I'm just glad that you're on. I'm in Erica's pocket right now. One thing that I just was such a profound takeaway for me on this Zoom yesterday, they posted in the VIP page saying, you know, that they were going to be interviewing Joel and Stephanie, and what questions did the triples and above have for Joel and Stephanie, okay? So they went through answering the questions, and Joel got a little red with everybody, and he said, you know, I just have to admit, because you guys said that you wanted real and raw Joel and Stephanie, which I have to say, they are like 10 times more red than I am. Some of the things they were saying, I was like, holy moly, my team would probably cry and tell me that they don't want to talk to me for a week if I said some of these things to them. Like, they were really straightforward with us. We're running the microwave, so we'll see how this goes. What were you microwaving? Okay. Sorry, microwave was running. Joel said, he goes, out of all the questions, when they gave us the list of questions, he said, I could not believe that this is what you guys are asking. You guys are triple and above, and these questions are basic. You guys should be asking better questions. You guys should be looking at different things. And so it triggered me to think, and I think I talked about this yesterday on our live, but you guys, we're not dreaming big enough. Like anybody, if Joel is calling triples and above out, so triple presidential and ambassadors out, for not asking bigger questions, for asking basic questions, how much are we as distributors not dreaming big enough for ourselves, not going hard enough, not going big enough? We are limiting ourselves. And that was one thing that Mark talked about tonight. I wrote so much down that Mark talked about, and I'm going to share most of it with you guys. I think there's a few things that I'm not allowed to share. They didn't really say, so I'm kind of going with what I think that they're allowing us to share. But Mark talked about, and I just love this. He said, he like wrapped up the call by saying, you are unstoppable. Each and every one of us is unstoppable. The only thing in your way stopping you is you. It's you and your limiting belief. It's you telling yourself that you can't. And he even said, he goes, I had Usher, who's our compliance guy, check for me before we did this call. And do you know what I found out? That not once ever in the history of It Works has a distributor died from being told no. And so he said, you know, a no isn't going to stop you. If you are going to be, right, Alicia, if you're going to be unstoppable, you're not going to allow a no to stop you. But if you do allow it to stop you, that's you allowing it to stop you. The only thing that's going to stop you from hitting your goals, you guys, no matter how big they feel, no matter how out of reach they feel, the only thing that's going to keep you from hitting your goal is you and your self-limiting belief. And so, you know, lately, you guys, I've really been hearing so much about money mindset. And I truly believe that my like wall that I've been hitting is my money mindset. And so I'm really working on that. I am like finding everything that I can, podcast wise, Zoom wise, self-development, like everything that I can do so that I can break through that, so that I can get to that next level. So I encourage you guys to take a step back and really analyze and look at what is keeping you from this. Is this something that you believe about yourself? Maybe there's a self-doubt just about you overall. Maybe there's something about your money. Cami talked today on our Movers and Shakers Zoom about, and I'm sure most of you guys have heard the story because I've heard it like a billion times at this point. But Cami, when she was promoting up and working her way to the top, because if you guys didn't know, Cami was a distributor at first. Cami was our very first Black Diamond. So Cami said that as she was working on promoting, she like hit a cap and she could not get past making $3,000 a month. She was stuck at $3,000 a month for a really long time. And she was doing all the things. She was showing up daily for her business. She was being consistent. Back then, they didn't really work social media as much as we do, but she was doing parties. She was having events. She was showing up for her team, and she could not for the life of her beat that $3,000 income. And so she said that she went to Pam and she was like, what am I doing wrong? Like, what is happening? And so Pam asked her, Cami was a teacher before she came to It Works, you guys. And so Pam said, what was your monthly income as a teacher? And Cami said 36. Well, she asked her yearly and she said 36,000 a year. And she said, what does that break down to per month? And Cami said $3,000. And Pam said, you don't believe that you're worth more than what you were making. And as soon as Cami realized that, it took Cami, I think, 3 months, and she went from 3,000 to 10,000, and then she jumped to like 20,000 like 2 months after that. And so, maybe it is your mindset on what you're worth because of what you were paid at your job now or what you were paid at your job previously. Maybe your thing is that you think you're not good enough because you've been told all your life that you're not good enough. Maybe it's that you think that because, if you're a mom, you think that you're supposed to only focus on being a mom and you're not allowed to have a career and have a second income or your own income. Like, what is that limiting belief? And that's up to you guys to figure out. I can't look at you and tell you unless we were to sit down and really like get deep, right? And you were to open up and share with me. But a lot of you guys can get quiet tonight and find out what is that belief that's keeping you from hitting that next level. So that was really good. And then on the Zoom this morning, Cami was saying, and this was just like, so this just ties right in with it, but it just made me stop and think. And she said, your income will never surpass your mindset. So your mindset, you guys, in order to change that mindset, Cami gave us a few things that you can change. Number one, you need to look at who are you around? And Mark talked about this tonight. And he said, if you're around anybody who's negative, get them away. Like, obviously, if your spouse is negative, you can't tell them to leave. However, if you have friends that are being negative, I know, just tell them to get out, Angie. If you have friends that are being negative, stop taking their phone call. Just stop. And that might seem harsh, but what is more important to you? And I have to say, you guys, like, I have someone who was like very, very dear friend of mine, and I still will spend time with her, but I don't spend as much time with her. And you know why? Because she's not like super negative. She's kind of negative, but to me, this business is more important. And it's because of what's behind it, because of what this business is going to mean for my family. My family is more important than any friendship that I have. And the goals that I have and the dreams that I have for my family are going to far outweigh any friendship that I have. And that might seem harsh, but I warned you, I'm going to be really red tonight. And you need to get rid of the negative people. Guys, I love my brother. Okay. My siblings and I went through a lot and we're super close, like, because of everything that we went through. However, I hardly ever talk to my brother because he's super duper negative, and it's nothing against him. It's just who he is. And I've tried to help him to not be negative. But at the end of the day, if you've been around somebody who's negative, you guys know how draining it is. And so you have to take a step back from that relationship if you're wanting to go somewhere. And this is coming straight from Cami, guys. If you want your income to increase, then you have to change your mindset. And in order to change your mindset, you've got to remove those negative people. And it can be a hard thing to do for some of those relationships, but just get rid of them. Guys, when I'm going through Facebook right now lately, and I'm seeing, like, I know Angie said no, and I'm pretty sure Angie completely cut her brother out. I think it was her brother. Is that right? Yeah. Yep. But as I'm going through Facebook, you guys, and I'm seeing like negative posts, and I'm talking anything, even if it's something that I agree with, okay? Because there are some things that I think really suck right now. Number one, you guys never hear me talk about it. Maybe every now and then I might hint at something that I'm irritated about, but I rarely talk about it. And I'm trying not to post about it because it's not fixing anything, and all it's doing is bringing more negativity to me. So when I see somebody post something negative, again, even if I agree with it, I'm either like unfollowing them for a bit, you can snooze people, or I'm just unfriending them. If I don't have that established relationship with them, I'm unfriending them because I just don't have the space in my life for that negativity. So I highly encourage you guys to take that same criteria with you. The other thing Cami said was I am statements are so super important. And it's, guys, we can write them down in the mornings. You see those of us who post our gratitudes and our affirmations every single day, and that's great to write it down, but are you actually physically saying it to yourself And guys, I just started doing this, okay? But I told you guys, like, something's got to change if I want to go somewhere I haven't been, right? I have to do different things if I want to get somewhere I haven't been yet. And so that's one thing that I've been changing. And you're gonna, if you haven't done it before and your personality is like me, you're gonna feel stupid, okay? I felt stupid, but I just kept like, I was like, I'm a presidential diamond, April 28th, 2021. This is my volume is 102,867. My team is on fire. Like, I'm just saying all this stuff, right? And by the end of it, I was like repeating stuff. And by the end of it, I was like so dang confident. I told you guys I do it in the morning, like when I'm getting ready usually. Like, so I walk out of my room and I'm like, holy moly, I'm ready. Like, I'm ready. So I highly encourage you guys, even if you feel silly, and guys, say things nice to yourself, not just about your business, but talk nicely about yourself, okay? Because lately I've been struggling with my body image. So I'm telling myself, I'm so fit. Taryn, your arms are so toned. Your legs look so good. Like, I don't really believe it yet, but it'll come, right? And if you're saying nice things to yourself, okay, what did we listen to Pam say about our inner bully, right? We have to change the way that we are thinking about ourselves. And if you are speaking out loud nicely about yourself, you're going to start to change that voice in your head as well. And then Cammie said the third thing, she goes, a lot of this is like, what did she say? What's the word? I can't think of it. Like, shoot. A lot of it is like physical things that you can do, or like things that are within your control, like I am statements, and, you know, controlling who you're around and what influences you have. But then the third thing that she said is, what are you crying out to God for? And I love that she said crying out to God, not what are you praying for? What are you asking for? What are you like, what do you want so bad that you are willing to humble yourself enough to cry out to God and say, this is what I want. This is what I desire. This, you know, this is what I want. Like, what are you willing to do that for? And then that, let God step in and take your business and do that. And I was actually talking to Steph about this earlier today. And I told her, yesterday was just kind of like, last couple of days, I've really been fighting my mindset, really fighting with my mindset. And this morning I was praying and I was like, you know, God, I'm asking for more volume for our team. And I've got my dream board right here. I sit here when I pray in the morning. I got my dream board right here, and I have my chart here. And then all of your guys' charts all down the wall. You guys have seen it. Like, everybody's chart is all on my wall. And I was like, God, like, I want these things for my family. Like, this dream board is like, it's created for my family, and I want that in my chart. Like, we still need these boxes filled, and I want the right people in these boxes. And I want everybody that's on this wall to have their boxes filled and their volume done and handled. And how can I bring in more volume? How can I bring in more distributors? And all of a sudden it clicked with me. I'm like, I'm asking, how can I, instead of let me just surrender everything over to you and give it to you, because I'm feeling stressed out and frustrated and tired and at the end of my rope trying to handle it by myself. And then have you guys noticed what's been going on today with the booms in our chat? Like, so much has been happening today in our business, and I'm like, okay, I need to just give it up. And that's something I have to remind myself about daily. So I love that Cammie said that this morning. And then she did say, and I still haven't figured out the right way to say this, so I'm going to say it and then kind of explain it. I think you guys will get it. But I know the girls that were on the Top Enroller Zoom this morning too were like, I had to think about that for a second. Cammie said, nothing extraordinary doesn't cost something. It's going to cost something to get those amazing things. So if you want something extraordinary, there's going to be a price that you have to pay for it. And you guys, what is that price that you're willing to pay? And Cammie was talking about, like, are you going to sit around? Actually, guys, I don't know. I've watched so many things today. I don't know if it was Cammie or a different Zoom that I listened to today. But you know, they were talking about, what are you willing to give up? Because if you want something amazing, there's a cost, you guys, just like anything in life. If I want to go to Disneyland, I got to pay an arm and a leg, right? Like, there's a cost for doing that. So there is a cost if you want to do incredible things with your business. There are things that you are going to have to be willing to give up. There are things that you're going to have to be willing to, I hate to say the word sacrifice, because is it a sacrifice? Like, yes, you're giving something up, but you're giving it up so that you can have something better. So I don't know that sacrifice is the right word, but you guys, what are you willing to pay in order to get those things that you are wanting and desiring and working so hard for? So let's see. Let's see. Joel said one of the secrets to their team is that they do not allow people to talk about what is not working. If something is not working for you, he doesn't want to hear it. He said he will tell people, I don't want to hear it. We're not going to talk about what's not working. You need to talk about what is working. So if you feel like what you're doing is not working, what has worked in the past, go do that. And then talk about how it is working. And I've heard so much of that lately too. And I talked to you guys about that a little bit, about not focusing on, even if you're saying the right thing. Like one of the examples that I heard was, I'm not going to quit. Like, I'm not going to quit. Well, you're still talking about quitting. You might be saying, I'm not going to quit. But instead of saying that, you say, I'm in this for life. Right. And then what is that going to bring about for you? And so like saying things like, I'm not going to stop messaging until I message 100 people. Well, you're still talking about stopping messaging, right? So instead say, I'm committed to messaging 100 people today. And then watch the shift that happens. And so it's that way with everything. Even if you feel like you're saying the right thing, it might be worded incorrectly to where your focus is still on that negative thing. And then I have so many notes here, you guys, but I want to just give you guys all the good stuff that I got from all these Zooms. There's some stuff we'll go over from the VIP Zoom here in a minute, just like announcement type things. Okay, Mark talked a lot tonight about protecting your energy. So, he was saying, again, it goes back to that. Who are you allowing yourself to be around? What are you allowing to be said around you? Your mindset, you guys have heard me talk about this over and over and over again too. This business is 80% your mindset. And if you are not protecting your mindset and you are not protecting your energy, you are not protecting your business. And you are going to have people affect you negatively if you're not being totally conscious of what's going on around you. And guys, I'll be honest with you, I don't watch the news for that exact reason. It is nothing but negative. It's like a shocking thing if the news gives you something positive. All night long, all afternoon long, whatever, the news is about, someone killed someone else. There was a car accident here. There's traffic there. The only positive thing I see on the news is when they tell me it's going to be sunny and 75. I'm like, yes, well, I can figure that out myself by looking at the weather forecast. Okay. COVID stuff, whatever, it's all negative. So shut the news off, you guys. Don't watch it. Don't listen to it. Angie, Sean used to watch it a lot. And until I pointed out to him, I was like, it's just constant negativity. And I told him, I was like, I can't have that for myself. Like, I cannot have that negativity. And so I'm very blessed, and he listened to me, and he doesn't watch the news anymore. And I told him, I was like, it affects your mood too. Like, regardless of whether or not you're in this business, it affects the people who watch it. And so in that aspect, you guys, what are you surrounding yourself with? If you're listening to a podcast, or even, guys, it can even be music, okay? Because I realized this, this was like a couple weeks ago. I wrote a note on my phone, and I haven't written a post for it yet, but I want to write a post around this. There's that song. Okay, guys, I'm really bad if it's not country. I don't really know who the artist is. So I don't know what the song's called. I don't know who sang it, but it's that song. It's a girl that sings it, and she's like, I'm a mess, I'm a loser, I'm a hater, I'm a user. Do you know what song I'm talking about? I said if it's not country, I don't know who it is. Sean's all, that's not country. But that song, okay, if you're listening to that, what are you telling yourself? What are you telling yourself? You're telling yourself that you're a mess. You're telling yourself that you're a loser. Don't let those things affect you. And it clicked with me. Like, I woke up and I have no idea why the song was in my head when I woke up. And honestly, what I thought of was, think of how this is impacting our kids, because this is like what kids Ivan's age are listening to. And think of how that's affecting them and impacting them. Like, here comes Ashton. Hi! But think of the impact that that's having on our children. But then not only our kids, you guys, if you're going to protect your child's mindset from that, protect your own dang mindset from that. Watch what you're listening to, watch what you're watching, because if you truly want to do something with this business beyond just hobby money, you have to be willing to protect your mindset. Even if some things seem a little silly or crazy, wouldn't you rather seem a little silly and walk away making $10,000 a month than be acceptable by society and making $1,500 a month? $1,500 is still great, but I'd rather make 10,000, right? So you got to do some of the things that seem a little bit silly that maybe not everyone's going to understand if you want to get the things that not everybody's going to have. So, and again, this is coming from Mark, you guys. You can't hold my pen. You can't hold my notepad. Go see that. Look at, they're singing. Princess Tiana's singing. And guys, this is I listened to Mark, and I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. I felt like he gave me permission to be a little more red with you guys, okay? Because I'm always trying to balance making sure that I'm tough with you guys, but it's real like soft, tough love, you know? And when I say more red, I don't mean being mean, but like Mark said, he tells everybody, don't come to me with a frustration. I don't want you to talk about your frustration. I don't have time for negativity. And it was like, okay, because that's how I feel sometimes. I hear frustrations, and it's not, listen, I'm your leader, and so I will allow you to vent to me, but I think I've told you guys this before, you get like 1 5-minute session a month, and that's it. I'm not going to have you coming to me continuously and venting and being frustrated, because it's affecting you and it's affecting me. And that's why you guys have heard me say, like, I had, you know, yesterday there was just like, it was a weird day for messaging. And there was a lot of weird stuff that was coming in my inbox. And I was like, what is going on? Like, people were driving me freaking nuts yesterday. And I almost screenshot it and sent it to you guys, because some of it was like laughable. Some of it was funny. But I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do that, because I don't know whose mindset I might affect with this. So, because I don't know who might look at it and say, oh, well, if that's what people are responding to messages, I don't want to send messages. So instead I waited till Sean got home, and I was like, babe, I got to tell you what these people are saying in my inbox today. And I was doing it more from a place of laughing, not a place of frustration. And so, you know, think about that before you send a screenshot to, if you have a sideline, like I even watch what I sent to Tavia and what I talked to Tavia about, because I don't want to be responsible for affecting her mindset, just like I don't want her sending me negative things that are going to affect my mindset. So, you know, before you send something to someone, ask yourself, like, is this going to positively affect them or negatively affect them? And if it's going to negatively affect them, don't send it. Okay. You have that one person, like I said, I have Sean, and I'll tell him, like, if I'm frustrated, but you guys know, I always have preached to you. I throw a 5-minute fit when I'm super upset about something, and then I get over it and I move on. So if you have that person that you go to, you need to have your 5 minutes, and then you need to stop and you need to move on, because it is not going to help in any way, shape, or form if you are focusing on that. And guys, I just love the heart of our company. I love Mark's heart. You have no idea how many times he said tonight, I want to see your dreams come true. I want to do whatever I can to make sure your dreams come true and your team's dreams come true. And I truly believe he means that, based on everything they talked to us about tonight and things that they said are coming on down the road. I 100% believe that Mark truly has, his heart is for every single distributor in this company, and making sure that he can do whatever it takes to make your dreams happen and to make your dreams come true. But at the end of it, it's all about you and whether or not you're willing to put the work in for it, right? He said, I think this was Cami. Cami said that she's looking for somebody with an unparalleled work ethic. You need to have that unparalleled work ethic. And she said that she sits back and says, who wants to do this? Cami's not going out and saying, hey, I haven't seen you posting for a while. Are you good? Did you still want to do this? Cami is only looking for the people who want to do it and who are showing her that they are showing up every day and they want it so bad that they are willing to make those sacrifices and pay that price in order to make those things happen. And she said, you know, when you find somebody on your team who has that unparalleled work ethic and who wants it so bad, that's who you want to spend your time with. And so keep that in mind, you guys, as you are building your team and as you're growing your team, you want to make sure that the majority of your time is going to those people who are showing that tenacity and that toughness and that grit, like Mark always likes to talk about. That's who you want to be giving your time to. If you have somebody who's wishy-washy or just isn't in it all the way, it's not that you completely cut them off and say, screw you. However, I'm not going to go try and drag that person along. I'm looking at, okay, I only have so many hours in the day, and a whole lot of that time needs to be spent on my business personally, and the rest of it gets to go to you guys. Hi, baby. The rest of it gets to go to you guys, but I don't have enough to give to every single person on this team, just like you guys won't have enough to give to every single person in your downline and on your team. So really, your time needs to be going to those who are showing that grit every single day and showing up even when they don't feel like it, you guys. And that's something that's been talked about so huge lately. But I don't know that you guys have heard it. Listen, every single person who I watch Cheyenne Knox's Zooms, I watch Morgan Martin's, Jade Hooper's, Ashley Mayfield's, like I'm always watching the top leaders' Zooms because we don't have that, right? Like you guys get it from me, but I don't get it from anywhere else. So I go to YouTube and I watch all these Zooms. And so what I've been hearing so much lately that they're talking about on the Zooms is that they don't feel like showing up every day, you guys. Sorry, she's jumping on her trampoline. Every time she jumps on the trampoline, I go, woo, woo. So now she does it when she jumps on the trampoline. So sorry, guys. But they don't wake up feeling like working every single day. There are days that they wake up and they just want to go back to bed, or they want to sit around and watch Netflix, or they want to go get their nails done and go shopping and have lunch. And they said that that's where, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, that's where you see the difference between who is showing up to work and who really wants it and who is, again, looking at it as a hobby, okay? And some of you guys are listening to this and going, well, I don't see my business as a hobby. I want this as a business. Yes, but are you treating it like a business? We're going to talk about that in just a second. I want to make sure I finish out Mark's notes. Two other things that he talked about that I just thought were so good. One, he said, when you have a team, a sports team that's looking to win a championship, if you guys, any of you guys have done sports, you guys know this already, but I'm going to remind you because it was a great reminder for me. When your team is looking to go to playoffs and go to championships, you spend extra time at the gym or on the football field or on the baseball field or whatever your sport is. Okay, I'm going to talk about basketball because that's what I played. We spent extra time in the gym working on the fundamentals. We didn't work on all these fancy things. We worked on the fundamentals. And Mark said the fundamentals of this business are enrolling customers and enrolling distributors and teaching those distributors how to enroll customers. And that's your fundamentals. And each of you guys can accomplish that in whatever way works best for you. You guys know I freaking love Host to Post. I would sit and do Host to Post all day, every day, and not feel like bored or frustrated or tired. Some of you guys love TikToks and Reels. Make that your focus. I still want you doing Host to Post because I think you're missing out on Host to Post. But like for me, I make sure my Host to Posts are done first, and then I take time for TikToks and Reels or messaging on Instagram. But my very first thing I make sure is done is Host to Post because I know I can sign customers and I can sign distributors from doing Host to Post. If you know you can sign customers and distributors from TikTok and Reels, then go do TikTok and Reels first, and then make sure that you get your 5 to 10 Host to Posts up. If you do really well with messaging over on Instagram, go send your messages on Instagram and then go do your Host to Post. Does that make sense, you guys? But do the things that are bringing in the basics. Sometimes we get so caught up in all these fancy things. And yes, you guys, you want your pictures to look nice, and you know, I try and put like wording on my stories, but at the end of the day, it doesn't have to be super fancy. You don't have to look like a blogger, because I'll tell you, there's a lot of girls in this business killing it who look nothing like bloggers. It's all about being that real, raw, authentic you and showing up unapologetically as yourself. And then the last point that Mark said, again, this is a sports analogy, but if you are, again, we're playing basketball, right? And we're down by 2 or we're down by 1, and there's like half a second left on the clock and we get to inbound the ball, who's stepping up and saying, give the ball to me, I'll take the shot because I know I can make it, right? Relay that to the business. Which one of you is willing to be that person? Mark said you're going to have people on the team. When you have that situation in a game, you're going to have people on the team who are like, heck no, I don't want to take the shot. I don't have the confidence in myself. And then you're going to have some people who are like, well, I guess if you want to do it to me, I'll try my best and see what happens. And then you're going to have those people who say, put me in, coach, give me the ball. I will do this because I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make sure we win this game. And so which player are you? Which team player are you? And he said every team has, you know, a little bit out of each of those categories. But obviously, the hope is that those of you who are on here are in that last category, that you are willing to do whatever it takes to win the game. And winning the game, you guys, is getting your promotion. It's you guys building your paychecks and increasing your paychecks. And that's, you know, what are you willing to do? Are you sitting there saying, put me in, or are you starting to like freak out a little bit and, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do this. And maybe this isn't for me. Listen, you guys, the only people who fail at this business are the people who quit. I don't know anybody who stayed in this business and says, I failed at it. Everybody who has stayed in this business wins in one way, shape, or form. And so really, you are doing yourself a disservice if you're thinking that you can't do what it takes and show up and be that hard worker. You're missing out on a lot of money. Okay, let's talk just a couple of, like, they call it housekeeping or whatever. So they did say, we finally got like official word, Pam retired. I mean, we kind of already knew that, but I know people have been asking where Pam is, and I'm like, I think she retired, but I don't know because I haven't heard anything official. Pam retired. So that's why Pam hasn't been around. I know Dave was having a lot of health issues, and Pam just really wanted to be able to spend time with Dave. So Pam retired. Mark is looking at stepping down from the CEO position. A lot of you guys haven't been here long enough to know Mark had cancer a few years ago, and like really bad. And he ended up beating it, but he still there's still, I don't know, he's not real open about it, but he did say tonight, he was like, I don't like talking about the C word, but for my own health, I have to look at stepping down as CEO, and he wants to become chairman of the board. Now, he said he is not doing that until he knows that he has a solid CEO in place. So he's not like bouncing on us next month, okay? But he is in the process of searching for a new CEO. But I mean, this is Mark's like baby, and his kids are still in this business. So I don't want that to worry anybody, because I have full and complete confidence that Mark is only going to put the best of the best in here for us. And so, I mean, this company's been around 20 years. They're not about to let it hit 20 years and then hand it over to somebody who's going to run it into the ground. And I think that's why Mark wants to be chairman of the board, to make sure that he still has a good, solid, firm hand on it. But, you know, I don't know exactly how old he is. I know Cammy just turned 40. So he's got to be like 60s, maybe closing in on 70. He deserves to retire, right? Or at least step down a little bit and go enjoy some life with Cindy. So, so there's that. They said, this is, guys, get to Diamond, because they are doing Winter Circle more than just these 2 times. They're doing Winter Circle a couple more times this year. And he said, listen, if he said Cammy's trying to talk him into this, he's already agreed to do it. He's just not going to say when. He said Cammy's been trying to talk him into doing it at the island. I don't know about you guys. The ranch is cool, but I want to go to the private island. Like, I'm just saying. So, so there's that. I talked this morning on the live about the new auto ship enrollment option. For right now, that's just for April and just in the US, but they're basically running a beta of it, and we're going to see how it goes. And if this works out well, they will continue it and they will expand it. So Canada, they're looking at putting something together for you guys like that as well, but they wanted to test it out first and see how it goes. But they said, you know, they have our best interests at heart. Number one, they want to make sure that the new DTs coming in can guarantee their paycheck. And number 2, they want to make sure that you guys, all of us, are having our distributors who are commission qualified and who are going to, I mean, look, I can't tell you how many times I've seen people like, oh my gosh, I'm 10 BV. It's the last night of the month and I'm 10 BV from being commission qualified. And I don't know if I'm going to make it. And I've seen I don't think any of you guys on here, but I have seen some of our distributors not get a paycheck because of 10 BV. And it's like, just run your freaking auto shipment. Again, I'm being a little red, you guys. Run the auto shipment, okay? It's worth it. With sample cash, like US, you have no excuses because you can literally use the sample app and you can sell, okay, you buy a pack of 5 for $35, you sell each one for 20, you make, what is it? I think it's a $65 profit off of it. So do 10 samples in a month and you pay for your auto shipment. It's no money coming out of your pocket. You are making it all just from sample sales. And I'm including the fact of the money that would be going out to pay for your samples, okay? So sell 10 samples and you can pay for your auto shipment, and then you are secure and know for sure that you're getting a paycheck. They're working on a lot of, he said they're working with a lot of different AI technology, but one thing that they're going to be rolling out hopefully soon, I'm so excited about this, is a cart abandonment campaign. Meaning somebody goes to your website, puts something in their cart, and then forgets to check out or closes out, they're going to get an email reminding them, hey, you forgot something. How many people do you think are going to end up ordering? That's going to bring in a lot of new orders for us because, you know, sometimes it's just that they went to do it and they got busy and forgot. So it doesn't mean you guys don't follow up with your people, but it's just another way of helping to remind the potentials, hey, you said you wanted to buy this. So I'm really excited about that. They sent 5 skincare products through clinical studies. They all came out positive. So that's exciting. They're going to be getting that information to us as well, but we'll be able to start saying that some of our skincare products have been clinically proven. So that's super exciting because we know people love hearing clinically proven. They are working on a customer referral program. So customers getting rewarded in some way, shape, or form for referring new customers to us. That's super cool. Also, international, so Canada, they are looking at changing your BBK. They didn't say to what, but they said that they are listening to what the distributors are asking for, and they're trying to change the kit that Canada gets, because you guys, if you're in US, Canada doesn't have the sample app yet, so, and they don't have Skinny Brew, so they can't get the digital kit, so they get an actual kit still, but they're looking at changing that to products that the Canadian distributors have been asking. Like I said, they didn't tell us what product. Hi, baby. And they are also looking into a sample program for you guys, Canada. So that would be awesome. So he said that that's really in the works right now, and they're working really hard to try and get that rolled out. And they are going to get it out as soon as they can. That's what I was thinking, Steph. I was like, either that or they're going to give all of us keto coffee in the sample app. I don't know. He alluded to the fact that maybe we're getting caught up on gummies. I would not tell your customers that, but it does sound like the gummy situation is about to get better. Okay, so I'm not going to tell you what he said, because sometimes Mark says that and then he is mistaken. So I really don't want to tell you exactly what he said, because I don't want us to have a false hope. But just know it sounds like the gummy situation is about to get a lot better very, very soon. And then this March compared to last March, there was a 54% increase. So he said, we're doing awesome as a field. He's super proud of everybody. I think that was it for Mark's stuff. Okay, I tried to blow through that. All right, you guys, last couple things that I want to go over before I let you go. I got to hit my notes that I made for us, and I'm picking and choosing. I'm not going to make you guys listen to everything. Okay. I'm looking to see which ones I want to talk about. Okay, so one thing that I listened to on one of Jade Hooper's Zooms this week that I thought was so smart. Okay, I want you guys to sit for a minute, just for like 10 seconds, really. I'm not going to shut up for a long time, but I want you guys to think for a minute. What are some of the negative things that you think about yourself? It can be related to the business or not related to the business. Okay, I know I can come up with like a massive list of things. So I want you guys, this is your homework, okay? By Monday, Oh, she's drawing on me with a pen, but I don't think the pen's out. By Monday, okay, I want you guys to know what that list is, but then you're going to write the opposite about yourself. So, for example, I feel like I'm not a present enough mom. I'm going to write, I am a present mom. I would highly recommend you do it like on, baby, why are you stabbing me? I would recommend that you do it like on Post-it notes or note cards or smaller pieces of paper so that you could put multiple things about yourself all around the house. Okay. Not just where you work, not just on your fridge, not just on your bathroom mirror, like put it everywhere. And it doesn't have to be the same thing everywhere. Oh yeah, look at, hey babe, can you grab her? It doesn't have to be, I swear they are stuff. She drew all over me, so watch out. Okay, just really fast because Steph said that kids are secret serial killers. Yesterday, Ashton got a screwdriver and I didn't know she had a screwdriver and she ran up behind Ivan and stabbed him in the back of the knee with it. So yes, they are. I saw her out of the corner of my eye and I watched her run over and go, wham! And I was like, the heck? And then Ivan was like, oh my gosh, what does she have? So yes, they are. But guys, take that list and write it opposite. Like whatever it is, I want you to write the opposite and then I want it posted everywhere. And that's what Jade does, you guys. She's like number 4, number 3, number 5. Okay, she's bounced around. She's always in top 5. So if she's top 5, I would say that that's probably something that you want to do. Okay. And then, again, I don't know what Zoom this came from. So if you guys already heard it, sorry, you're going to hear it repeated, but I don't think we can hear this enough. It talked about how sometimes you guys, and I'm going to kind of loop this in with our paychecks and prelims and that. Sometimes you guys say, this is hard, right? Messaging people is hard. The business is hard. It's hard to hear no, whatever, all those, you know, there's different aspects that can be considered hard in this business. I challenge you to look at it differently because you know what was hard? It's hard waking up at 5:30 a.m. to get ready to go to a job that I freaking hate. It's hard to drop my kids off at daycare and no, I'm not going to see them for 10 hours. It's hard to have a half an hour at night with Ivan that doesn't involve, you know, he was littler, so taking a bath, eating dinner, doing homework, that kind of stuff. It's hard being exhausted because I'm being run down to bare bones at a job that I don't like, that doesn't appreciate me. It's hard getting a 2% raise once a year when I'm performing really well, again, for a job that I don't like. Like, what is hard, you guys? And I know that not everybody's home with their kids, but still, if you're not home, okay, if It Works is not your full time yet, what's harder? Sending the messages that you have to send, doing the TikToks, getting up post-to-posts, or going to your job every day? Unless you're Kristen and you love your job, because I know Kristen's like, I'm good. I love my job. And that's great, guys. I really hope you do love your job, but I don't know what the percentage is, but it's a very high percentage of people who are not happy with their job. And this is the second, Mark said it tonight, it's the second time I've heard this statistic. The other one, I heard it from Grant Cardone also. The average length of time that people are staying at their job right now is 2.5 years. That's the average length of time that someone stays in their job. So don't tell me people are happy with their jobs. So what's hard? Which one is actually hard, you guys? So I encourage you guys, change your wording, because if you take a step back when you're feeling like something is hard, take a step back and ask yourself, is it really hard? Or and see, I like that too, Lillian. Lillian loves her job, but not her paycheck. So what's hard, Lillian? Going to a job that you love and getting a crappy paycheck, or sending out some messages. And I know that some of you guys aren't there yet, but eventually getting a really nice paycheck, right? Like, pick your hard. And a Zoom that I was listening to today, Amy Spence was talking about it. I sent it to my Power Hour group. So we're all going to watch it and then we're going to kind of come together. We might be giving you guys some different tips coming up here based on what we learned from this, because it's an hour and 45 minutes. I'm about 40 minutes into it. But Amy Spence was talking about, and this is where I'm going to talk about paychecks, you guys. Amy said, and if you don't know Amy, she's an ambassador diamond and she's super awesome and she's just killing it right now in the business, you guys. And Amy said, you have to remember that the work that you are doing now does not pay you this month. What you do this month, you're not actually seeing a paycheck for. What you do this month is your paycheck, it's reflected in your paycheck 6 months from now. So I encourage you guys, when you're getting a paycheck and you're frustrated with it, look back, if you've been with me long enough, look back 6 months ago and ask yourself, what was I doing 6 months ago? Was I actively working my business every single day? And I'm going to say the odds are probably that you weren't, because it was November heading into December, right? Am I right? 6 months ago, October, November, December. It was holiday season, guys. And everybody gets freaking distracted at holiday season. So maybe you were working harder this October than you did last October, but you still probably weren't 110% focused. And so that's why your paycheck is not where you want it to be. And I don't say that to discourage you, but this is why you stay in, you guys. This is why you don't quit. And this is why you keep working with that strength and tenacity and that just go getter, because it's going to be reflected. And so listen, guys, number one, I don't look at prelims anymore. So I highly encourage you guys, unless you have a big promotion that you just got and you know, like, dang, I got a bonus on there, I'm excited to see it. I encourage you guys, don't look at it, because I know that so many times I've jacked up my mindset for like a couple of days because of what I've seen on my prelims, because I'm like, that's not what I thought it was going to be. Well, great. Now what? I did all this hard work last month and now my paycheck isn't where I wanted it to be. And you know what it is? It's a heart of ungratefulness, when instead I should be grateful and have gratitude for the fact that, guess what? This business that everybody wants to say is a scam isn't a scam. I got a freaking paycheck. I have money coming into my account. So I encourage you guys, don't look at prelims, like I said, unless it's like a big, like okay, like Jen looked at it and I'm like, Jen, look at it, because she got her payout for her Emerald promotion, okay? So absolutely, if you have a payout for a promotion, please go look at it, because it's gonna be super exciting and you're gonna be so excited. Or if your sales like doubled, go look at it. But I don't know what that means. T4A. I don't know what that is. Oh, maybe it's like a W-2 or our what are we 1099. Yeah, thank you. That's what I figured it is. But otherwise, guys, I would just encourage you, don't look at it, because you're probably going to mess up your mindset a little bit. And there's no point. Again, 80% of this business is your mindset. There's no point in messing with your mindset. Okay. Now, the other thing that I will say, and I'm like giving you guys a red alert here. Okay. And none of this is being said from anything other than love for you guys. Okay. You guys, if you are not showing up to this business every single day as if it is a business, how dare you expect this business to pay you like it's a business? If you want the big paycheck, you have to be willing to show up, because I know when I worked at the restaurant, okay, I didn't have sick leave. I didn't have vacation time. So when I took days off, if I took Ivan on vacation, I knew I wasn't getting paid for that week. And that was okay, because I took the time off. So if you are taking time away from your business, if you are taking more than your one day, you guys know I am all about taking your Sabbath day. You take your Sabbath day, I will like come to your house and take your phone away from you to force you to take your Sabbath. Like, I am very serious about taking your Sabbath day. But if you, outside of your Sabbath day, if you are taking additional days off, I love you guys, but you have some nerve to be mad about your paycheck, because you didn't show up every day for your paycheck and for your business. This company, again, it's a long drive and decent flight, but if I have to, Angie, but again, you guys, if you're not showing up daily, how can you expect this business to pay you? This business is not a get rich quick scheme. This business is not a scam. This is a business that pays you for the work that you put in. And for high achievers and people who want to work hard and people who are willing to put the work in, this is how you make a lot of money. If you are looking for something that you just get to sign up and sit back and earn a paycheck, this is not for you. And again, I love you. This is super red, but just quit now. if you are expecting to sign up and just get a paycheck for not doing work, because it's more frustrating for you and for me and for whoever else whose downline you're in. If you're going to show up and say, I worked 5 days last month and my paycheck isn't big and I don't know what's going on. Okay. Remember, you guys, this is just like anything else. The only difference is that we have the freedom to choose when we work, where we work, and how long we want to work. Okay. And that is a blessing. That is such a major blessing because not very many people are given that option. So take that blessing, be grateful for it, but then show up, because we remember nobody else is holding you accountable, you guys. There is nobody that tells me to get up other than me. Even when I ask my husband, hey, I'm so tired, you need to kick me out of bed tomorrow morning. He doesn't do it. Okay, it's on me to get up early to make sure that I get my work done, because I know Ashton's crazy right now and it's going to be really hard to do any work, like super focused work when she's up. Okay. The things that take me like 20 minutes to do without her being up take me like 2 hours to do when she's up. So I know that I have to be willing to show up even when I don't feel like it. But this is a business. This is my job. If I was still working for the county, I wouldn't be able to say, hey, I don't feel like showing up. I'm not coming unless I had like a sick day or a vacation day, right? But you only get so many of those. I don't feel like showing up. I'm not coming. You have to pay me still though, okay? I still expect my full paycheck. I don't have any sick leave left. I don't have any vacation hours left. I just don't feel like coming to work today, but I want my full paycheck. Okay, they're gonna give me like 1 day like that, and then they're gonna cut me loose. And they're gonna be like, Taryn, we can't have somebody working here who's not willing to show up. Okay, the only difference is that you get to choose when you show up. So for some of you guys, that's late at night. Like, bless your souls. I don't know how you do it. For some of us, it's getting up early in the morning. For some of you guys, it's maybe you guys are home. Like I know Tavia works during the day when the kids are at school because they're all going to school right now. So when the kids are at school, that's her work time. Like whatever your situation is, if you are working full time, get up early and do a half an hour's worth of work in the morning, stay up late and do an hour's worth of work at night, or like whatever, right? Like whatever works for you. You guys, each of you guys are going to have something individually that works for you, but you have to find that time that works for you. And I'm sorry, I just realized what time it is. I'm so freaking proud of you guys, especially my East Coasters. It's late. All right, let me see, because I want to stop so that you guys can go to bed. Okay, last thing, okay? When we were on the top enroller Zoom this morning, Cami was talking about like all these different teams that have done incredible things volume-wise, or have done like these jumps that people didn't expect. They hit promotions in months when, like, if you had told somebody I'm promoting this month, they would have looked at you and been like, oh, okay, sure. Yeah, you need a lot of volume and your chart's not full. So, okay, girl, I'm cheering you on. We'll see, right? But they did it anyways. They buckled down and they did what they needed to do, and they did it anyways. And I don't know if anybody's still on. It was, yeah, a couple of you guys are on that were on this morning. And did you guys hear Cami calling out the names and talking about Savannah Sparks is a big one they're talking about right now, because I think Savannah brought in like 120,000 last month in order to go ambassador. Cheyenne Knox, okay, Cheyenne just posted. I talked about it this morning. I'm going to tell you guys super fast tonight again in case you weren't on this morning. Cheyenne Knox went ambassador a year ago today, or a year ago this month. She went into April needing 131,000 BV to go ambassador. 131,000, okay? We need about half of that, you guys, to hit our promotion. So number one, we're already halfway there, okay? They had only brought in 67,000 by the 25th. So the 25th came, all auto shipments ran, and they still needed 64,000 BV to go ambassador. They brought in over that in 5 days. In 5 days, her team brought in over 64,000. I don't know what the exact number was. I just know that she went ambassador with more than what was needed to go ambassador. So I want our team to be one of those names. that when Cammie's talking about all these people who weren't expected to hit promotions, or, you know, they were so far that it's something that shouldn't have happened, or if Mark's talking about it, because Mark was talking about Savannah tonight on the call, I want that to be our team. Don't you guys want to be that team that comes from like left field that nobody's expecting? Nobody really knows who we are. They kind of do, but I mean, Cammie knows who I am because she came out here for a one team, one mission, and I was her chauffeur for a bit. Like, so I developed a relationship with Cammie then, and then we started following each other on Instagram. And so like, I can't, like, Cammie, if you were to say Tara DeSilva, she'd probably have to think for a minute, and then she'd be like, oh yeah, I know who that is, right? I don't want that. I want it to be that Mark's like, yes, those dream warriors, I know exactly who you're talking about. I know exactly, that team came in from out of nowhere and surprised everybody, and they're just killing it over there. They're who I want. It works to model themselves after. That's what I want for our team, you guys. And the way that we do that is we start showing up every single day, whether or not we feel like it, putting in the work, doing the fundamentals, right? Do the basic things to hit those goals. And guys, here, you want to help me wrap it up? Here. The way we do it, you guys, is we take it one freaking step at a time, one message at a time, one host to post at a time, one TikTok at a time, just one thing. Baby, I'm not done. One thing at a time, okay? That is how we get to where we are going. But you take it one step at a time, but then you do that little bit extra, okay? I wrote down, I sent out 110 messages today. I went through and counted them because I wanted to give you guys an accurate thing. Sent out 110 messages today. I had 70 out before lunch. 75 of those messages were asking people to post for me. I think I got to go through because I think a couple of people posted while I was on Zooms tonight. I think I have about 9 hosts to post up. Okay. I would love to have gotten more up, but I'm not satisfied with that because we're going for more. If we were just looking at like, oh, let's increase our volume a little this month and then we'll try for presidential next month, I'd probably call it a night tonight. I'm not going to lie, but I'm not going to because I'm not willing to settle. So I'm going to make sure I get at least another 25 out asking people to post for me. And you know what? It's 8 o'clock here. If someone says yes, I'm probably going to give them a post because why the heck not? I was very surprised the other day. I was giving people posts at like 6 o'clock at night and some of those posts took off. And I was like, maybe I've been sending people posts at the wrong time of day. I don't know. So I'm going to play around with it and I'll start having people do them in all hours of the day. And let's see what takes off. But you have to go into it, number one, with the expectation that that post is going to take off. Because if you go into it with like, it's late, no one's going to comment on it. Guess what? No one's going to comment on it, you guys. But what is that little bit extra that you are willing to do? And then you have to do that little bit extra every single day, and a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And then you watch what happens with your business. You see where you're at the end of this month. The 25th is going to roll around. My prayer is that every single one of you sees your promotion on the 25th, because then you just get to breathe through the end of the month. We still work, guys. We still work hard because we're not resting, guys. We're going to go president, then we're going to ambassador after that. Okay. So like, there's no like, whoo, we made it. Let's take a break. No, we're just going to keep going with that momentum. But I want you guys to see those numbers come in early. And the way that you make that happen is you start doing that extra every single day. All right, you guys, I kept you late. I'm stopping the recording. I'm just